all day. I forgot some things. Forgive me, y'all. Probably gonna have to bring that down. Then if I have to. Oh, wait a minute. That's an iPhone charger over there. Uh-oh. Y'all, please forgive me. I'm trying to, I was doing all right. Then I wasn't. Oh, I don't want no mishaps. I got hot tea down here. Hot tea. Let me see, does this iPhone charger work right here? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, it is. Don't even know where it come from. It must be the ogres. Whew. Okay. All right. That was a challenge. Welcome, 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 and hello, hello, hello. Thank you for your patience. Because I thought I had everything together. And that was working up a sweat like nobody's business. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your patience. All right, there we go. Let's do that there. No, we want to stay right there. All right. All right, welcome, 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 you guys. I appreciate you coming in here and sitting with me for a spell. It's just me, just little old Sylvie, coming to you with some of that 414, that one in the middle for some balance. Why? Because you see things this way and I see things that way. And if we come together for just a little bit of effective communication, if communication ain't effective, I promise it's not going to get us anywhere. For some effective communication, we may be able to understand another side of things. If we choose to understand, because some people will never have understanding. Some people will never desire to understand the other side. Some people are comfortable sitting in their view of things. And that, my dear hearts, is totally in the land of totally. So I welcome y'all to my stream. I hope that you are having a great day. I hope that you have had a wonderful start to your week thus far, you know. Hello, hello, hello. So, I would like to start with just a little question. We have lost some great ones. Like when we lost in the last week, I was like, that was a whole doozy. Like we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, then we lost we didn't lose Hulk Hogan. We lost Ozzy Osbourne. Then we lost Hulk Hogan. Now we wound up in this week with Lonnie Anderson. Like it's been a doozy. Well, my question is, why when we experience loss, like we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, and it's a whole lot of this, that, and the other, and people who feel like there were different reasonings and funny things going on as far as him and the way that he passed away. It's even said by one podcaster who said that they have a reliable source that says that his mother is even saying that she believes that there is something fishy going on with the way he passed away. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all y'all guys. I see we got some India in the house. I appreciate you coming in, sitting with me a spell. Hello to everybody. I hope this day is going great for y'all. But it says that his mother is finding things fishy, but the stories are all over the place. And I wasn't paying any attention, but then you see people going in, that's this thing with social media. Because people have access to do and put whatever they want to on social media. Because you see somebody, the man ain't been in his grave 2 split seconds. And somebody wants to go through all of his lovers. And then you see Charmaine come on with her little post and everybody going haywire. But that video just going through all of his lovers was just like crazy to me, because I'm like, why? Like, what's the purpose of just running down all of his lovers? You got a wife that's out here mourning the loss of her husband. You got a daughter that's out here mourning the loss of her dad. And y'all feel the need to do all of this. And my other question would be like, why they run you through? It's so many articles that's going to run you through all of their accolades, and it's great. We know that these were great people in the things that they accomplished. You can't take away accomplishments. I don't care what you feel about a person. You can't take away their accomplishments. So they were great in the things that they accomplished. But sometimes, you know, when we are sitting here and we are mourning their losses, or, you know what I'm saying, just trying to deal with the fact that you lost somebody, because even as a celebrity, you know, sometimes there's emotion attached to being a fan of somebody and then knowing that they were lost. Like when I say Malcolm Jamal Warner, he had the internet, the whole internet, not just Facebook, not just YouTube. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He had the whole internet in a chokehold. And then you just running down his accolades, and like it, I don't think that that's the time for all of that. But I wanted to talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner because there is so much. It's so much different stuff being said. I read like 10 articles, and I started reading the article. Shout out to Introvert Rockstar. Shout out to Ringo TV. Whether I agree with things that you say or not, I watch a lot of podcasters. I don't always agree with what they say. I am definitely a take the meat and leave the bones type of chick all day, every day. I take a lot of meat from men's pages because my page is geared toward women. So I want to hear sometime what the men have to say, so that I know that I am giving an accurate take as far as listening and coming back to speak on the things that I hear, and just wanting, old ladies, for us to be able to see another side. And we don't always have to agree. We don't always have to agree. But what we do have to do, look, Mitch McDonald said Diddy is where he belongs. You want to play, you got to pay. So whoever that is that was free to diddler all the way up and through the chat, Mitch McDonald said Diddy where he belongs. And my thought process on that is, I want you punished for the things that you do wrong. I don't care what your color. I don't care what your financial status. I don't care what your gender. If you have done wrong, I would like to see justice served. However, I don't want you to ever be punished for something that you didn't do. Something that somebody is trying to put on you, or anything to that effect. So if he's done things, I want him to be punished for the things that he has done. I don't want him to be punished according to our emotions. Sips tea. I want him to be punished according to the law. I'd like to thank you guys for coming sitting the spell with me. I would appreciate it if y'all would like, share, and subscribe. But you have so many different things going on as far as being talked about as far as Malcolm Jamal Warner, from Eddie Griffith saying that he told him, you too clean cut, they coming after you, to him being found in Playa Coclis in comparison to Playa Grande, which are anywhere from, because they are both in the province of Limon. I watched Queen Ahmadiyya, shout out to Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur. I watched Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur, and she Googled how far is Playa Grande from Playa Coclis. Her Google brought up 7 hours. When I Googled it, it brought up 8 hours and some change. However, when I Googled it, because it said that both of them were in Limon, the province of Limon. So when I Googled it and attached Limon to it, it said 2 hours and 45 minutes. So they are at least 2 hours and 45 minutes difference between Playa Grande and Playa Coclis. So you have that. Then you have whether or not his daughter was in the water or his daughter was on the shore at a beach, where it says that there were signs posted everywhere about how dangerous the rip currents were. Now, I am just going to say, and this is my belief, and you don't have to believe like I believe. Well, thank you, Mitch. I appreciate you. You don't have to believe like I believe, but I just tend to believe that Malcolm Jamal Warner, I'm starting to watch listen to his podcast as well, was a very intelligent man. That's my thought process. His career spanned over years, decades. I believe that he was intelligent. Intelligent enough to read those signs. Intelligent enough to understand what a danger it could have been, besides the signs that were posted all over that beach that was supposed to have lifeguards but didn't, because that man said, oh, it made me sick to my stomach because of this stupid money. When I tell you, that was the most fast talking article out there, when he talked about the stupid money that kept them from having lifeguards on this beach like they were supposed to. So you sent the lifeguards to the less dangerous beaches and left the dangerous beach open with no lifeguards. But aside from that, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight at all. No sides, anything. Aside from that, the dangers that it would be once they said, well, no, his daughter wasn't in the water with him, she was on the shore. So you and your friend decided that you were going to go into these dangerous waters and leave your 8-year-old on the shore alone. When you're in the water, you have absolutely, positively no way of running out to save your baby if somebody come and try to snatch her up. Do you know how hard it is to run in water? I don't care how fast and hard you swimming. If you're in the water, because swimmers are not going to want to be at the shore. Swimmers, and if the rip current took you away, it's going to be my belief that you was out there just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit. And let me go ahead on and say I don't own the rights to anything that you may see me just pop out and start singing. I don't own the rights to any of it. So how he was going to get to his baby to save her from any hurt, harm, or danger? How he just left his baby out there? Said he was on a family vacation. It went back and forth from saying his wife was there to his wife was in the room to his wife wasn't there. She was there. One article says she was there weeks before the accident. But there was an article said, well, this is not coffee. This is vanilla chamomile tea with some ginger and honey in it. That's what that is. Thank you very much. If the article that said that she was there weeks prior to the incident is a little bit, thank you, is a little bit right back at you. God bless you. Is a little bit contradictory to the article that stated that he had only been there for a week. Then you said standers by or passers by or beach goers saved him, and then you said that Red Cross, didn't save him, but went out to try and get him, and then you said Red Cross did it. The man that said, "Oh, the stupid money kept us from having a lifeguard there," said that his lifeguard, his doctor friend was there, and that's who went in after him. That's one person. It went from being one person to two person, all over the place. Now Ringo TV has said, because Ringo TV, he don't like okay then, let me eat a cherry and then we're gonna talk about this. I got cherries too. Gotta get the seed out, cherry. So Ringo TV has said that introvert rock star is satanic because he had a Baphomet star on his hand. Now maybe my phone wasn't a good phone as far as screenshotting and blowing it up and everything, but it didn't appear as the Baphomet star to me. I went on and commented and asked him, like, "Do you got a Baphomet scar?" Like, I don't even know if you're gonna respond to me. I don't mean no disrespect, but it's a podcaster out here that said you is Satan and we is not to believe anything that you're saying. Ringo TV also, now this is what burns my britches with Ringo TV. I really don't like it. People come in my chats. And say all kinds of ignorant stuff like country boy. They say all kinds of ignorant stuff in my chat. And then I have people that come in my chat and they right on point. They're going to express their opinion, good, bad, indifferent, whether it agrees with me or not. What I try heavily not to do, I have said that it is my goal to be Tasha K on this thing and not block people. I don't care how ignorant they get. That's the goal. Not to say I may never block someone, but the goal is to not block people. So Ringo treats his chat so harshly if he does respond and he does not like the way that you are interacting in this chat, he will get ignorant with you. So he has someone to come on and say, well, you have to admit, because he was like, just introvert rock star was just wrong, and there was nothing fishy about Malcolm Jamal Warner's passing, and a lot of people were coming on like, you gotta admit that the stories are different. So the one young lady said something to that effect of the stories keep changing up, and he just immediately made the assumption and stated he then degraded other YouTube podcasters, and don't let you say nothing bad about him or talk about his commentary and don't give him credit. But then he went on to degrade other YouTube podcasters. That's because you're listening to YouTube podcasters and you're not going out to get the full stories and everything like that. So I just went on to his comment and stated, well, sir, because at that time I had only watched two podcasters. He made 2 videos about it. I did not watch the fullness of either of them because it seemed as though he was so very unbalanced in his take on it. That's my opinion. But I did watch the other 2. But I went on to that comment and stated to him, I read news articles from the mainstream media, and in all of that, I got all of this confusion. Now, ChatGPT is saying it's because everybody was rushing to do the story, but if you are the mainstream media, why are you rushing to do the story? Why are you trying to break things first? I hear people on YouTube say often they don't rush to do stories because they want to make sure that they have the fullness of everything, that they are bringing you a balanced viewpoint. So why is the mainstream media feeling like it's okay to rush to do the stories and going back and forth? You went from him being with someone else in the water to somebody else almost drowning as well, and y'all having to take that person. Went from it being a friend of his that drowned to it being one of the people that were out trying to help to save him and his daughter, and then he started drowning and somebody had to go get him. It's been all over the place, everywhere, from here to there to everywhere, and that is not good business. Okay. I am Seeds is your channel name. Okay. I'm gonna check you out when I get off this live. I'm gonna go to your page and see what's going on. I am Seeds. Once I get off this live, let me do a screenshot so that I will not forget that. So yeah, that's my take. My cousin went into Chat GPT to see what Chat GPT said about it, and it did speak on the fact that it felt like there was a lot of confusion. You are very welcome. It was a lot of confusion, but it's saying that it believes that it's because of. Now, he was doing a lot of speaking out. He was doing a lot of speaking out about the music industry, about Hollywood in and of itself, about the fact that people want to see black folks as a monolith, as if we just one set of people. I am in the United States. I'm in Virginia. As one people, like his podcast is called NAH, Not All Hood, because every look, everybody, and I tell people I will scream it from the rooftops because I have no problem with me. I'm a little bit hood. I'm a little bit hood. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit city girl. I'm a little bit lady. I'm all woman. But I'm a little bit of all of that mixed into one. I can be professional. I can kick it with the Ebonics. I promise you, people always try to come at me about my dialect when I get to talking in a little bit of Ebonics, and then I have to drop some of that professionalism on because I love vocabulary. I love spelling. I love words. I used to win spelling bees. I watch the National Spelling Bee when it comes on. But I'm a little bit hood, so you're not going to tell me how to be me. I'm going to just be me all day, every day. And if you don't like it, Africa in the house, Nigeria in the house. Welcome, 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 y'all. I appreciate y'all for setting the spell. So yes, you're going to take me or leave me. But I really feel like if y'all haven't just done a little bit of research on Malcolm Jamal Warner, because I'm still reading articles, and like I said, I'm starting to listen to his podcast because he got a little deep. He got a little deep. His poetry was deep, and I know he said some things that some folk ain't like. I'm not saying nothing but what I'm saying. It just seems a little everywhere. I ain't saying he ain't drowned. I'm saying that podcast, I think it was called, that podcast was called Tough News TV. He states that he has a legitimate source that is stating that Malcolm Jamal Warner's mother does not believe that what they're saying about her son's passing is the truth. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, I was looking at Tasha K. Oh, my queen called. I didn't even see it because I got it cut off. I was looking at Tasha K, right, on Instagram. And sometimes she'll do a live where she allows you to call in and ask her anything. So this young lady called in and she says, what did she add? She was like, how you know? She was asking something basically about problems in the marriage. She and her husband have been together for 5 years. Off and on, she said. There's been ups and downs. She said they have been married since February. She said her husband never wants to go anywhere. And she be trying to get him to go places and he don't want to go anywhere. But he don't want her to go. He don't like for her to travel. So she stopped traveling as much as she used to. He don't like for her to be out with her friends. But he don't want to go nowhere with her when she want him to go. And then she made a comment about the amount of money that he made. And Tasha K immediately stopped her and stated, "Oh, you just emasculated him in 30 seconds. I paused it right there because I like to pause because I like to be able to listen effectively with all my listening ears and tingle tangles and all that things like that. So I paused it and I said, I commented, if she emasculated him on this call in 30 seconds, it is no telling how she treats him at home. And this is never to say that everything that y'all do is right, men. It's not. I'll never say that. This is the play. This is Balance Grasshopperville over here at Sylvie's. Balance Grasshopper. I do want us to look at ourselves in it as women and not always pass the buck, which is what she did, because as I went and took it off pause, Tasha K was saying what I said. If you did it in 30 seconds here, there's no telling how you talking to him at home. And then she backed up off her statement and said, well, he be talking negative to me too. That's passing the buck. That's passing the buck because, and Tasha K said this, you called in. She said, so I have to be able to give him the benefit of the doubt because you called in, baby. And you went straight into emasculating your husband, and that is not the way that any of this works. Started talking about the amount of money he made. And the thing about it is y'all was together for 5 years. You've only been married since February. So the way that he worked is the way that he's been working for the last 5 years. But I can't imagine that you are not my on everything. This is my house. This is my money. Like Peach McIntyre. Woo. Peach McIntyre. Everything is my. I have said several times, and it said she put all her business out here on the YouTube street. So it said that her husband has put hands on her and everything that's out of her mouth. But one thing I do know for sure is I have read and watched videos, and she definitely emasculates that man. That's never going to be right. I don't care what your reason is, because if you don't like it, you can leave. But to degrade somebody because emasculation is degradation all day long. I tagged my brother to it and said, bro, look at the comments and see what you think. He said this kind of stuff should not be on the internet. I said I concur, but all too often it's on the internet. That's why Sylvie's here. I promise one thing for sure and two things for certain. I am not Yunty. No, shout out to Yunty Tia. But I am auntie status. And if I don't say it to you, dear loves, dear hearts, then who will? Period. If I don't say it, who will? Because all too often, and I say this often, all too often, we are going to just call wrong right and call right wrong because we women. And I'm always support women, but in supporting you does not mean that I have to call your wrongs right. I promise you that. Okay, well then, throw it out then if it smells like trash. I mean, Sunday was just yesterday, but if your Sunday dinner smell like trash, what is it, your Sunday dinner from the previous Sunday? Like, why it smell like trash? I know you're not talking about my Sunday dinner, because nothing I cook smells like trash, I promise you that. I ain't no chef, but I sure can cook. Toot, toot. I've been told enough to say that about myself. I've been told enough. Period. So somebody came into the comments and was like, she didn't emasculate him. She just told him she made more than him. That same person made a comment that said, if you feel emasculated because your woman told you that she made more than you, then you're weak. That's an emasculating comment in and of itself. So you the same type of chick. So you are going to just rationalize her behavior because you rationalize your behavior and your words. But let the tables be turned, though. Let him be throwing his money in her face. Let him be calling her weak and all kinds of things outside of her name. I said that about this page that I watch called The Fight Dawn. The Fight Dawn is on Instagram, and The Fight Dawn is always going to show you videos about people cheating. He do men cheating and he do women cheating. The men come up there and cheat. The women go in the comment section and eat him up. The women come up there and cheat. The women go into the comment section and rationalize why it was okay. You cannot, Dawn. You cannot. In my Jocelyn Hernandez voice, you cannot. Nah. I don't advocate for that. Y'all see, I don't advocate for that. That's what that title is all about. I do not advocate for not stepping on your toes. The Most High God said that I had to step on toes. So step on toes it is. Sips her tea. Eats another cherry. Now, this might be a little bit of a sore subject. Instagram. Okay, I heard that. Who is All My Hoes? Is that the name of your page? Our favorite auntie. Is that the name of a page? I'm gonna check that out too if that's the name of a page, cause I'm all for supporting. I'm all for supporting. I'm growing. I would like to support, so I'm definitely all for supporting and collabing. I ain't trying to collab on no. We gotta come to a consensus about what we is collabing about before we get on together, because the Most High sent me out here. While I don't believe that this page is supposed to be a religious page per se, it's going to be a page where there is integrity at all times. So that's why I said, whatever you're going to say in the comment section, I can't talk about what you're going to say in the comment section. I might call your comment out from time to time, get a little too ignorant, let the people know what you're in here talking about. But hey, it is what it is. But I don't know how many of y'all, I don't know if y'all are from other countries and y'all ever follow our news over here in America. It's a whole lot of things going on right now about Africans and African Americans and the discord and everything like that. Look, I am character all the way. I am character all the way. I ain't got no problem with nobody until you present that there is a problem that you have with me. If it's a problem that you have with me, then we could talk about it. If you want to talk about it in a respectful manner, we can definitely have a conversation, because TikTok was coming at my neck about what I'm about to talk about right now. It was a couple of people on the post that I did not engage with, and I let them know why, because I'm not going to engage in ignorance. What I will do, if you think that you are going to come at me in a disrespectful manner, because the Most High has told me that I have to not allow my buttons to be pushed, that is still a work in progress. So while I may not go down to the pits of petty with you, I might say something to make you feel real low in the most respectful way. That might happen. So, Cincinnati, Ohio. There was a music festival in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is major news right now. It's everywhere. Because, again, the mainstream media, and a pastor just came out and said that today. How are you portraying bits and pieces of what went on and trying to push that as the agenda? How and where they do that at? How they do that and where they do that at? In the mainstream media. That's why I say YouTube is the new TV, but only the integrity is going to stand, because all this foolishness is going to the pits of hell. Up to and including the mainstream media. That's why they be coming over to YouTube a lot of times to get stuff from YouTubers. Yes, there have been YouTubers involved in court cases at this point. You see YouTuber stuff on the news, because they getting it from the news. You see newscasters coming at the heads and the necks of YouTubers. They call him Swollen Roland. Swollen Roland, what they call him, that's Roland Martin. And one thing for sure and two things for certain. Roland Martin will get into it. That, to me, that's not even professionalism. That's what the Most High is telling me that I have to get away from. Because me and Roland Martin got into it on Twitter. Yes, Roland Martin came for the little guy, the little gal, on Twitter. And we had a few words, and I gave him, the what for, just a little bit. Look, I can go back and forth with the best of them, but that's not what the Most High wants out of me. So I just told my girlfriend yesterday, everything that I work on as a discipline, and some things have been extremely hard, some things have been easier, but most everything that I believe that the Most High wants to remove from me, I like. Some of it I love. Allowing my buttons to be pushed, I love. I love once you push them. But there is no growth. There's no maturity in that. That's not effective communication. If I just light into you and what you say may not be the truth. There may be every truth in my defense that I come back with. But delivery is everything, baby. Delivery is everything. So, they had the music festival in Cincinnati, and it said that these people that don't look like me came in a group and began to harass the people that look like me. And they began to spew racial slurs. It is some people that look like me that is going to condone that behavior from other people that don't look like me. And all too often they have to get a Negro wake-up call, as O'Shea Duke Jackson calls it. Get a wake-up call and remind you that even though you don't feel like you look like me, they is always in the end. I don't even care if your complexion looks more like theirs. They'll let you know that you look like me. You one of them. Gotta give me one of them. So they just down there trying to music festival. And like O'Shea said today, it could have been drinks involved in all cases. Could have been. Once the drinks get involved, that's what I said when I was talking about Carnival Cruise and them changing the music in the nightclub and making differences in the drink packages. Because once drinks get involved, but this lets you know that it's not just black folk that act niggerish. And I don't care what negative connotation they want to put to that word. It is ignorance in full effect. Doesn't matter what your nationality is, period, point blank. Ignorance is ignorance, and it will show through. And it's going to show through even the more if you drink it. So these people is down there in their music festival, and then the other people, the YT people, they come and they begin to spew the racial slurs. And y'all can check Twitter. Twitter has the videos Because all that the mainstream media showed you is that man getting stomped out. He got stomped out. And people was coming back and forth. Well, like, it should have been one-on-one. Well, I can tell you, everybody want to talk about, everybody want to go all the way back to slavery. We don't have to go all the way back to slavery, but there have been times upon times over these last, I will say, decade. Times upon times when the person that looked like me was outnumbered. And the situation was rationalized or whatever it was, or you just want us to sit back and be still and take it. That man got stomped out. Hey there, welcome, 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 y'all. Yes, it was multiple people on him. And then a woman came in. When I did my video on TikTok, I went back to, look, I got into it with my ex-husband. And no, he did not beat on me. 9 times out of 10, if there was, or you can leave, or you can leave, or you can stay. It's up to you. But I'm not going to be, if you go do the etymology of the word nice, first and foremost, no, I'm never going to be nice. You should go do the etymology of that. But I don't think that there's anything that I've done here that has not been kind. What did I do? You want to tell me what I did? Since you want me to be nice or shut, you didn't even finish your sentence. You might want to finish your sentence the next time as well. Do you want to tell me what I did and that you want me to be nice or shut? Which again I'll say, and again I'll say, I'm not going to be nice. You want me to go to, let me on this phone go to the etymology of nice for the people in the back so that they can hear what that word means. Because no, I cannot be nice. Etymonline.com. It's a great etymology page. You should look it up sometimes. Nice. In reference to persons, foolish, ignorant, frivolous, senseless, careless, clumsy, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, silly, foolish, ignorant, unaware, literally not knowing. No, I cannot be nice. It's possibly what they wanted the young men in Cincinnati to do, be nice. While that man not only, they broke it up once. They broke it up before any lick got passed. When they broke it up before any lick got past all the spit that the man on my post on TikTok, I said, give me the video. Show me the video where the spit came in, because that video ain't there. But the video, I hadn't even looked at the video where they broke it up. I had just been hearing that there was a video where they broke it up once, just because they were passing words and squared up like they wanted to do something. They broke it up once. At the point that they broke it up, do you not know that that man had every opportunity to walk away? Now walk it out. Now walk it out. East side walk it out. South side walk it out. West side walk it out. Walk it out. He had a chance to walk it out. I ain't got no $1,000. I ain't got no $1,000 to give. Nope. And even if I did, you can't tell me, but I got to donate, even if I'm going to donate something. You talking about it requires a minimum donation of $1,000 to our favorite auntie's content. I heard that. Yeah. But anywho, he had every opportunity to leave, to exit the situation, exit stage left. What he do? Do anybody know what he did? I'll tell you what he didn't do. He didn't leave. He went and got in another young man's face. Now, it said that they were kicking their vehicles and everything like that. I haven't seen that video. But he went and got in that another young man's face and slapped him. Bow! Just rocked the young man's head. And once he did that, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Once he did that, it was a whole wrap. Are you a female? Are you a female? Because they lit him up. And that's all that you saw online. It took people having to continue to stay on this story before they even began to release the video into the mainstream media. Could have been on Twitter the whole time. Into the mainstream media that showed that that's not how anything happened. If you're going to arrest them because I made a comment on a thread on a video that I had watched about it, and somebody came on that thread and said, you said he passed the first lick. That was just a love tap. I said, so what are you saying? That if you come to me and we are going back and forth in heated communication and you put your hand on me like that, I'm going to remove you. I'm going to remove you. He rocked that young man's head. So you're saying that because you feel like it was a love tap, that he was just supposed to what? Take it? And everybody kept saying, well, it was one-on-one. It should have stayed one-on-one. He should have left before any licks got passed. He had the opportunity, and everybody wants to jump over. Everybody wants to jump over. Y'all ever play high water, low water? You used to play high water, low water in New York. We're going to raise the rope a little bit each time you jump over and see how high you can get before you hit the rope. He shouldn't have got so high that he was going to hit the rope. He should have left. Because then you wanted to tell somebody to get their clap back. And I keep trying to tell everybody, can y'all spread their part? You can't tell nobody how to get their clap back. You can't tell nobody how to get their clap back. You better keep them comments to yourself. You better keep them slurs to yourself. But most of all, you better keep your hands to yourself. Because you can't tell nobody how to get their clap back. Because the man on TikTok said, now you just walked right into what I was saying. You said that they said the black guy spit on him first. I said, well, he said, if somebody spit on me, I don't care what color they are, black, white, Indian, I'm going to hit them back. Why you don't spit on them back? Yeah, spit is nasty and spit can be dangerous. Why you don't spit on them back? Because if you hit them back, then you have just upped the level. See, you want somebody, everybody ain't you and you ain't everybody. Nobody showed me a video about spit, but they did show me a video showing that you could have walked away. There was no discipline in staying. There was no correction that could have happened from you staying because there was no effective communication. You just went into a place and thought that you was better and thought that you could do what you wanted to do and there would be no consequences and repercussions. Now, I wouldn't have wanted the woman to get hit, but that's what I was getting ready to say about me and my ex-husband when we got into it. My Mini-Me 3000 tried to jump in and thought she was going to break that up, and she caught a stray. Excuse me. She caught a stray. Why? Because emotions are flaring when people are fighting, and that was just one-on-one, and I still hit my daughter by mistake. She was hit before I knew it. I didn't hurt her. Not bad. She was hit before I knew it, but guess what she did? Backed up away from that fight. But that woman went into a situation where there were multiple people. You didn't look. Who was it? Nope, that was O'Shea Duke Jackson. I just watched where the Indian man saw the black man walking down the street. You talking about you gonna call the cops on the man because you don't think he lived there. You want him to show you his ID like you are the police. And your wife kept telling you, come on home and call the cops. You come on home. Why she ain't stand back? It's come on, baby, stop. Why you walk into that line of fire? Why you walk into that line of fire? And where was the rest of them? That's all I said too. Where was the rest of them? There were several of them. One of them got a little bit dragged too on a whole nother scene because he wound up calling somebody out their name. Sticks and stones may break your bones, and words won't hurt you. They can hurt you. They can. But when the fuel is added to the fire just grows. So I'm speaking on that because shout out to Street Media TV said we supposed to speak on it. And so I'm speaking on it. We should not be jumping over. We should never be jumping over. We should never be jumping over. The racial slurs were one thing. The racial slurs was already pouring fuel. You was pouring the gas on the wood with the racial slurs. Or the lighter fluid on the charcoal with the racial slurs. When you put your hands on that man, you lit the match. And then you wanted to control how the fire burned. My Bible verse that I studied today was about correction and discipline. I think that man got corrected and disciplined. I think that Tasha K corrected that young lady. Now, whether or not she is going to learn a discipline from that, it's neither here nor there. I think that everybody that is speaking on the confusion that the mainstream media has made, if there is nothing more to Malcolm Jamal Warner's passing, the confusion, you need to be corrected and disciplined because that's not professionalism and that's not the way that you do business. Correction and discipline. It comes to make a better you. But some of us don't want to be a better you. Some of us want to be the weeds that we want to be and think that everybody is supposed to fall into line with the weeds that we want to be. And you are supposed to let people just be who they are. But hey, you better keep those bees to yourself because you can't tell nobody how to get their clap back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's see what the word got to say here. Let's see. That man asked me, was I a female? Woo! Proverbs 3:11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. Why? Because all afflictions come from the Most High God. They are so that to make good use of them, so that you can examine yourself, so that you can pray, so that you can be righteous, upright, holy, so that you can be the best you. Things don't come to, and that's whether you be Christian or not, is not going to negate you from affliction. It's not going to negate you from going through things. If we are going to go through things and we're going to sink under them, it said don't sink under them, but don't act like they don't matter either. Meaning, don't go through things time and time again, because the Most High will send it time and time again and act like you can't get no growth from it. You're not supposed to sink and crumble. You're not supposed to be sitting around running away from it. God know we're going to complain to study, talk about you want to be Job in this and not Jonah. Jonah ran away. God had to have him swallowed up in the belly of the whale. Because you're going to do what I said, dude. Job did a little bit of complaining, but all in all, Job was good. Job handled those afflictions. Job took the correction and was disciplined by them, and there was growth. Said, look, I studied this after I church 7-day Adventist, so I church on Saturdays. So Saturday, Miss Martha said, I do Bible study with Miss Martha. Because 7-day event is something else. You got to do a Bible study for about a year before you can even really join the church. I think I've heard someone say that switching over to Judaism is a similar thing as well. You got to do a Bible study for like a year before you can officially join the church. So I Bible study with Miss Martha. Miss Martha has become dear to my heart. I love Miss Martha. And Miss Martha has already told me that I'm about to be doing these Bible studies with people. She was like, I'm going to guide you, and I'm just like, yeah. But if God said do it, I'm going to do it. That's one thing the Most High knows. If you're telling me to do it, what might sound crazy to other people, because there's people that talk about me because I switched over and began to go to 7-day Adventist. So, but that's neither here nor there. You're going to have to holler at the Most High about that. Don't holler at me. Because I'm not going to answer for you. Except I did what God said do. My cherries are good. They could be sweeter. That was me and my grandmother's favorite pastime. We would dog a bag of cherries. So Miss Martha yesterday was talking about Christians who feel like they're just supposed to have a feel-good experience. It ain't God if you going through a thing. Like God's supposed to let you feel good all the time. Feelings. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Feelings. Those are your emotions. And the very epitome of sinking under discipline and correction is being led by your emotions. Because if you're being led by your emotions, you are only going to want to feel good. So the study said, I did the study Saturday evening. The thought of prosperity suggests the opposite one of adversity. You don't want to go through adverse times. You feel like you're just not supposed to. Or you feel like I went through it long enough. Who are we to tell God how long we must go through? Who are we? And again, I stated, if you ain't got no religion, you still gonna go through stuff. Period. I find that's why I compare. I have people that I love that don't ascribe to any religion. Grew up religious and they don't like it and anything like that. But they be acting really religious sometimes. I tell people that all the time. I have people that I love that act they act like church folk. The man said, we'll make America great again then. The man said that he was church folk. When I was talking about church folk, to my driver coming from one of my medical appointments, it was another passenger in the vehicle as well. He was like, well, I'm church folk. I said, I would never call myself church folk because I don't mean nothing good when I say church folk. Church folk is busy sweeping around my own front door before they try to sweep around theirs. And I think that we should be busy doing our own healthful self-examination. That is how we become disciplined, because we are taking the greatest and the hardest look at ourselves and understanding that correction, don't you correct your babies? Don't you discipline your children? I'm going to use the words of that woman that said to me, don't you should be at church. It was a Sunday and I was working collections, and I generally don't work on Sundays. Hadn't up until that time. This was years ago. That thing said, don't you should be in church somewhere? I said, don't you should be in English class? And I promise you, she ain't look like me. Look, I am the one that will say that I believe sometimes you can hear it in the voice. And I could be wrong. Because she was on the phone, so I don't really know. But that's my thought process, that she ain't look like me. But don't you be correcting people when you see children cutting up out here on the internet streets. Oh, they parent need to do this. And, oh, they parent need to do that. I just watched somebody and I looked at her, so I know she don't look like me. We went through a whole thing. That's my TikTok friend. That's my TikTok friend. Now that's dang, what's her TikTok name? Cinderella Dana Dane. Well, I'm the rapper Dana Dane with fame. That's her name. Her name is Dana Dane. She said she got it from Dana Dane. And she said that, and her profile picture is Prince. But she said today you need to basically F your children up. She ain't say F your children up, but you need to whoop their tails. It is a people that feel that this generation is into gentle parenting. I feel like balance, grasshopper. Balance, grasshopper. Because everybody that got whoopings when they were younger, that are my age probably or older, did not turn out like horrible people. And when we watch, sometimes gentle parenting lacks discipline at all. And I used to watch Maury Povich and watch those young people that were having to go to boot camps to get discipline because their parents were not disciplining them at home. And many a time on the Maury Povich show did those children that were not being disciplined, and I'm not even gonna hold you. A lot of times, the ones that said that they wanted the discipline looked like this. I'm not saying that all of y'all don't discipline your babies. I'm telling you what I watched when I was coming up. A lot of times, those babies that said they wanted discipline look like this. So if babies is craving discipline, makes them feel loved. You get discipline. Discipline is not always going to be a beating. I didn't do a whole lot of beating of my children. My children can count on one hand how many times they got beat by me. And they will also tell you that they hated to disappoint me. That was big for me. But if we discipline our children, how dare we not believe that the Most High God is not supposed to discipline us, is not supposed to correct us? How dare we? How dare we? That's the epitome of living in your emotions. Stop. Stop. Let's see, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Sorry, y'all, I came out of it. And this is what the prosperous or the successful or the ones that believe that God is not there if they going through a thing. Like you just want to feel good all the time. God don't want to be forgotten. Sometimes we get so famous, we get haughty. Sometimes we get so successful, we get haughty. And we begin to take on our own this is us, and we forget that God got us where we are. I did this. That's what I said about a woman or a man. If you throwing in that man's face that you make more money than him, that I don't think that'll ever turn out right in any relationship. That'll ever turn out right, because it don't feel good when they do it to us. I know personally. I know personally. So in my opinion, we're not supposed to turn around and do what they do because we can, or because the tables are turned. Those married to medicine women, oh my God. Oh my God. I ain't even gonna talk about the Married to Medicine women because I know I'll come on right now and make a video and talk about them as they go. So, but it's the epitome of you're having men have to come on and show the woman from the other side. Well, if my wife said that I ain't spending time with her like that, I have to find time for my wife. So you can't rationalize, well, I'm a doctor and this is just what doctors do. And I'm never going to excuse infidelity because you can let your partner know. There are women that are going to stay. There are men that are going to stay. You can let your partner know if you is about to go out there and be unfaithful. You do not have to put people at risk. And not that I even believe, I do believe that there are people out there that may be doing things on the side of their marriage and they are not out there just raw dogging it all over the place. But you still can let that person know. They don't have to find out in the streets. Because once you find out in the streets, then it's a whole other thing. That's when things and stuff go wrong. Sauce. Said you don't want to fail to be altered. I said that. Or improved by them. Said if a child is not better for his parents' discipline, we say that correction has been thrown out the window. That's what I just got finished talking about Mari. If y'all is doing something for discipline, yeah, these babies ain't learning from your way. You might want to try something different. And I think that that's a whole lot of what the gentle parenting era is. Because a lot of our babies came from strict backgrounds and, might have did a lot of yelling, might have did a lot of beating. Excessive amount of beating. Try something different. Look at here. That study talked about diamonds, sapphires, rubies, emeralds. It didn't talk about gold, but I added gold. And then I thought about this toy. Well, it wasn't really a toy, but it was a gift that I bought my oldest daughter when she was younger. It was a rock tumbler. You put the rocks in, rockish, and it tumbled them jokers and make them come out something pretty. They went through a process. Discipline and correction is a process that you must go through so that you can come out diamond in the rough. It said people might throw that away, not even knowing that it's something valuable in there. But once that diamond goes through the process, once that gold is continued to be put in the furnace, once that tumbler finishes tumbling those rocks, they look great. They're in a better state than they were. And I just love rocks. I love rocks and I love shells. This is my shell that I got from Bimini, Bahamas. Out of the water. I did not buy a shell. I got this shell out of the water. And I love stuff like that. But you have to be able to go through a process. Correction and discipline is but a process. That's all. It's but a process. So, all right. Let's talk about. These two situations were similar to me. You see, I got Karrueche up there and Tracey Edmonds. Tracey Edmonds is Babyface's ex-wife. So Babyface's ex-wife was with Deion Sanders. I think they said that they were together for years. And then she brought Karrueche around. Karrueche used to be with Chris Brown. She brought Karrueche around. And Claudia Jordan has a video or an audio stating that Tracey, or she asked Karrueche, or Tracey asked Karrueche if her and Deion were together, and at that point Karrueche was like, no. But Deion just went through cancer, so prayers out to Deion. He had to get his bladder removed. He had bladder cancer. Prayers out to Deion Sanders and things like that. One podcaster I watched talked about how men would find more value, like as if Karrueche had more value. I don't know if it was because she was younger than Tracey Edmonds, or the like. So he was kind of like blaming Tracy Edmonds. My whole thing is, you just gotta watch who you is bringing around your spouse or your partner, because you don't know who might be getting eyes for your bae, because you done brought them in your space. Can't trust everybody. You can't even trust everybody as a friend. So what in the world would make you think that you could trust everybody around your man? You brought Karrueche around your man, and she started to like your man, and your man started to like her, and then you was out the door when Karrueche was in. He just wants y'all forever, man. That's all I'm gonna say about that, Tracy Edmonds. Cause you and Babyface was together. They was together for a long time. So I don't even know what in the world happened to separate them, but they were together for a long time. You just have to be a little careful about who you. It's a lot of people, celebrities, that don't even put their man in the public eye. It's some regular folks, I'm pretty sure, that just don't be flaunting their man around their friends and things like that, like talking about it, because you never really know. And I said this to go into the next story. Cash Flow Harlem, y'all. I meant to put this link in the video, but I didn't. But Cash Flow Harlem, he's a content creator on YouTube, and he raps his content. I love it. I sat there and listened to a 7-minute rap the other day about another record producer. So it's funny somebody put Diddy in here, because he said his stuff is true stories. So I don't know who this other exec was. I don't know if it was Andre Harrell, but really seemed like he was in this video as well. Like he was in his own video. That I commented on it, but he didn't ever respond to say if that was the case. Like if he was a part of that, not a part of the wrongdoing that I'm about to talk about. Well, not this one, but the wrongdoing in the video. Because all his videos end up in unaliving. But the way that he raps through them, it enthralls you. Like when I say it enthralls me. I love watching Cash Flow Harlem. So, you got an auntie and a niece. You have an auntie and a niece. And the niece is going through a thing. She going through a thing. She going through a thing. So she called her auntie and she like, Auntie, I'm going through this. I'm going through that. And auntie was like, come on, baby. Come stay with me for a while. Auntie was about to get married. She had a whole fiance. So, niece moves in with auntie. And then niece moves in on auntie. She moves in with auntie. And then she moves in on auntie. They got left alone one night. And they just started getting it on. And they got it on and on and on and on for months. And then when it was time for him to get married, you just wanted to get married when you had just been taking this woman's niece to bed on and on and on and on for months. And she's thinking, I'm doing a good thing because this is my family. So she's safe. He's safe around her, and she's safe around him. But when people don't want to be disciplined and corrected, then they have character flaws and they are living according to their emotions. Ringo TV said, we are evil. He was speaking about women. But if we are evil, how much more are y'all? Those are Ringo TV's words, not mine. So he does understand that y'all are more evil than us. Y'all run this shit. We gonna run this town tonight. Oh. I don't even know the beat. So I'm gonna just stop it right there. Woo! I don't even know the beat. So the day before the wedding, she said, you gotta tell her. He like, no. She was like, you gotta tell her. He like, no. So she gave her auntie some tea because her auntie was getting a little nervous and stuff. And she gave her auntie some tea. She had put a little razzle dazzle on the tea. And so her auntie started drinking the tea. And next thing you know, she was... And she get up to go out there and get married. And just pass out dead. Unalived. Just pass out unalived. The chain that you created. Oh, what a tangle web we weave, Miss Quad. This is how you say, Miss Quad. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when first we learn to deceive. He was so deceptive. But the woman that you loved lost her life because she trusted and you deceived. That's just like Spaghetti Junction. When ATL Bistro was talking about women and how, what did he say? I forgot what he said, what he called her, but basically how terrible she was, basically, because she slept with her husband's brother. How terrible was the brother is what I said. Because he slept with his brother. Same situation. That brother had been in jail for 7 years. Brother let you come stay. This niece is all the pieces all out there on the streets because she can't take care of herself the way that she's supposed to. Your aunt let you come stay. And you repay her with unaliving her. Woo. That needs helpful self-examination that will allow you to discipline yourself. So I hope that now that you have time on your hands, that you will receive correction and learn discipline, baby. Because that was wild. Now, on to this last story. And then, oh, okay, I know those two. So again, this is Cash Flow Harlem. And the Fight Dawn. I think that was the Fight Dawn that did. He said that this girl's boyfriend, this young lady's boyfriend, slept with her brother. And so she decided that she was going to go out and cheat on him. The caption of that video was like she was Mike Tyson by her boyfriend for doing so. I said this on the Cash Flow Harlem video that I'm about to speak about. I commented. You cannot just feel like it's okay to just always get some get back because your emotions want you to get some get back. Sometimes just leave. Sometimes just leave. Don't say anything, because this Cash Flow Harlem is a similar. Her boyfriend was locked up. He got out. She noticed that he was acting differently, a little more aggressively and things like that. So she called and talked to one of his boys, and he was like, yeah, I noticed he was acting like that too. He was like, just be patient with him. Her boyfriend came to her and said he wanted to end things. That's the right thing, in my opinion. If somebody wants to end things, and you saying that they're acting aggressive, you see that they've changed, why we not going to end things? So she kept trying to work it out. And at first I'm going to assume that he allowed it. But then he tried to end things again. He tried to end things multiple times. She didn't want to end things. But on that last time that she tried to end things, she went into his phone and found out that the same homeboy that she called and he told her to be patient. They was in my O'Shea Duke Jackson voice. They was clapping each other's cheeks. I don't know if that is Clapathon University or Clapathon Tech when you clapping the cheeks of the man that's clapping the cheeks of another man. But it's some kind of clapathon he be talking about. So when she went to him, she like, well, why can't we just work it out? He was like, I don't want to work it out. At this point, you know what's going on. I didn't want to tell you, but now you know what's going on. And so I'm telling you that I want us to be done. He was taking care of his child. They had a son together. He was taking care of his child. And so she was a content creator. So instead of leaving, like I said, that the one on Fight Don, you didn't have to go out and cheat on him just to try to get back at him. You could have left. I would ask the question, has he ever put his hands on her before? Like, did you know that this could be such a thing? But you could have just left. Like, because in my mind, you went out and you cheated on him for him to find out. And it could have been that he was holding shame for the fact that he was clapping the cheeks of a man. But then you went on and cheated on him to call him out. Did you come back and tell him that you cheated? Like, that one kind of threw me for a whole little loop. Just leave. Stop trying to play with people's emotions. Stop trying to test people's gangster. Just be out sometime. Because instead of her just being out, this one from Cashflow Harlem, you decided you wanted to go on your podcast platform and spread his business all over the internet. And when you decided you wanted to spread his business all over the internet, because if he was on the down low, he probably wasn't ready to come out yet. I'm not making no excuses for it. But I'm neither going to make excuses for the fact that you thought that it was okay to put his business out there. It wasn't yours to tell. Your emotions were hurt. And you went and you put his business out there. And what happened then was tragic. Jesus loves you as well. Are you related to Medea? And I love Jesus. You put his information out there. He came back and he unalived her and he unalived himself. Discipline and allowing wisdom to lead you, guide you, and converse with you will make you think differently about the decisions you make. It'll make you stop and think a spell. Because sometimes the correction you're not going to like and you're not going to make it through. And I'm not saying that either of those corrections were of God. I'm not saying it was of God, but they corrected him. The Fight Don, he corrected her because he put a beat down on her. And Cashflow Harlem, he corrected her because he took her life and his. And now the child is parentless. Child is parentless. So we done talked a little bit about Malcolm Jamal Warner. We done talked about the young lady that called in emasculating her husband on Tasha K's platform. We talked about Cincinnati. We talked about 2 Cashflow Harlem stories. The one about Auntie and niece, and the one about him wanting to break up with her so he can go do his thug thizzle with his boy. We talked about Karuchi and Tracy Edmonds and Deion Sanders. And we talked about the young lady on the Fight Don being Mike Tyson. We have to think. We have to be willing to do some healthful self-examination, but all too often people don't want to do that. That's why they say my page growing so slowly, because people don't want to hear you tell them you got to examine yourself. That was the epitome. Tasha K said, I believe you're supposed to let people be the way they are. Because everything that young woman said about her husband, she knew before they got married. You said that y'all had conversations about change. I paused it again at that play. I said, I paused it this time because I know what you're going to say. And I put exactly in there what I then unpaused it. And she said, conversations are not actions. Actions speak louder than words. Someone can tell you and tell you and tell you what it is they are going to do. That does not mean that they are going to do it. But if someone shows you by their actions, then you know that there has been a change. But if you are thinking that, okay, I married him and he said he was going to do better, he wanted me to change some things. So he saying that in my mind made me feel like whatever he wanted her to change, she had changed, or so she would think that she had changed. She ain't changed that emasculation, I know that. But then because she changed, she felt like she was supposed to be able to control how he changed. That's why you don't, that's why sweeping around your own front door is really the only way. It's really the only way. You can offer suggestions to people, but you really have to be aware when you're offering even your suggestions to people. My pastor stated there's a difference between judgmental and holding somebody accountable. It is, but oftentimes with church folk, they don't really know. They told a line with that difference. They don't really be knowing what the difference is between judgmental and holding somebody accountable. Because delivery a lot of times is the difference. Delivery a lot of times is the difference. Hello, beautiful. Discipline and correction are a good thing. Don't you discipline your babies, or don't you know someone that disciplines and corrects their babies? It's not always because they did things wrong. Sometimes you want to discipline and correct because it's going to lead to growth. It's going to lead to them being the best them. So when discipline and correction come your way, beautiful, don't try to judge and determine how long you supposed to go through an affliction and this is too long. Don't bury and sink under that thing, and don't just pass it off without thinking about it and wanting to desire to grow from it. Beautiful. Sylvie loves you, and I am out. Gotta put on my glasses because I gotta be able to see. Thank y'all for setting a spell. I appreciate you. I don't know about Oriana Whitetown in South Africa, but now that you said it, that was just like the woman came in a long time ago and was like, what you think about Gypsy Rose? I don't know, but I will go research it. So I'm going to get off of here and go research Oriana Whitetown in South Africa, because I have no clue. So I apologize, but I appreciate you giving me, no, Mr. Rogers, I is not looking for a man, because the man going to find me. But I thank y'all for sitting the spell, chilling with me. I thank y'all for the likes, the shares, the views, and y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all evening. I'm out.